So it's definitely the most anticipated list of the spring because it's time for my cheapie picks for the spring. The ones that I'll be reaching for the most, that if they sound good to you, I'm hoping you'll be reaching for too. Stay tuned. So first things first, one that not too many people talk about much anymore, and it's kind of a shame. It's like a musky violet leaf coffee type of smell. It's one of the, I guess, lesser talked about flankers from the UOMO line from Salvatore Ferragamo. We're talking about UOMO Casual Life. Yes, this one got a bit of love when it first came out a few years ago, but not so much lately. And like I said, you get a nice clean and creamy muskiness. Still maintains that coffee note that the UOMO line's known for, with a little bit of violet leaf to kind of shake things up. Doesn't really smell like anything else to me. Very beautiful fragrance, kind of unusual, but awesome. Awesomely unusual would be a good way to put it. Of course, you can find this for around 30 bucks. From discounters, they pop up at the rack stores. Not so much lately. They do pop up, keep your eyes out for the UOMO line. This signature, the original, they do tend to pop up. Urban feel, you know, great line in my opinion. And this is definitely the one that gets the least amount of love, I find anyways. And it really should. Perfect for the springtime. Not a real heavy wear that still maintains a little bit of density. And it's kind of an outside the box type of fragrance. Like I said, it's a little unusual, but it's awesomely unusual. Again, that's UOMO Casual Life, Salvatore Ferragamo. Cactus note. Not a lot of fragrances utilize that note in men's fragrances. And one of the better ones, in my opinion, that's actually a decent performer and is just super, super juicy, is Bulgari Man Extreme. You can see my bottle's a little beat up. This is I had got a used bottle a while back. Big chunk. I guess the package, USPS just don't care. There was broken glass in the package, but bottle's a little beat up, but that does not matter because the juice is just fine. Man, and I like pulling this one out specifically in the springtime because it's got that crisp, fresh spice with this beautiful juiciness of citrus and that cactus note. Not some super monstrosity beast mode fragrance, 5 to 7 hours, but definitely average to slightly above average if you spray your clothes. Get around that 7-hour mark, especially on those cooler spring days when it's not real hot and you're not really heating up much. You'll get a little bit more out of this one, and it's one that you can get in that $30 range, $32-ish dollars, because for my cheapie videos I set the bar at $40 or less. So this one definitely falls into it, and from this particular line, from the Bulgari Man line, I think this is the best one for spring. I have not smelled the original. I think this year I will get my hands on the original just to see how it differs from the Extreme Flanker, because the Extreme Flanker is damn good. One I will be reaching for here over the next several weeks, and who knows, if you get your hands on it, you might as well. Bulgari Man Extreme. So in my niche video for spring, I featured Menthol Wood and Spices. Gorgeous fragrance. Powerful, creamy, beautiful. Sculpture Pour On from NIKOS. Creamy fragrance. Slightly less powerful and very beautiful and affordable. $20 range. Will get you this very, very unique bottle. And the beauty about this one is it smells just like a more synthetic version, more synthetic, less powerful version of Menthol Wood and Spices. And I mean real close too. Beautiful, lovely, creamy, woody fragrance. It really is. This stuff is stunning and super, super affordable. It gets love here and there. You know, people know about it. This isn't some hidden gem secret. For some, it may be. This may be the first time you hear about it. Others watching this, you know all about this fragrance. This is gold. This is cheapy gold. And for the springtime, it's perfect because in those days that aren't too hot but not too cold, this will shine because it's light enough and dense enough. It's powerful, but not too powerful. It really checks a lot of boxes, especially for the price point. It punches above its price for sure with the scent quality, the performance, because it is in that 5 to 6 hour range is what I get. I've had people, when I've featured this before, tell me they only get 2 or 3 hours. Hey, I've had people tell me they get Mancera fragrances that they only get 3 or 4 hours. And that's absurd to me, because Mancera fragrances are crazy powerful. So to each their own, everything is subjective. Your skin chemistry with this fragrance will differ from mine, but in my experience, 4, 5, 6 hour range for 20 bucks, it's incredible. Perfect for the spring. You like them creamy, you like them woody, you'll like Sculpture Pour 'Em. Springtime, I like a lot of green style fragrances. And when I say green, you can tell they're herbaceous. They have cypress or rosemary or basil, all these different green herbal components that just kind of stand out. And with HUGO Extreme, HUGO Man Extreme is something else. Powerful, very, very powerful off of my skin. Extremely green and aromatic. This screams spring to me. Powerful, don't get me wrong, synthetic. Not some natural fragrance, but you can get it for a real good price. Right around 30 bucks is what I paid for this 4.2 ounce from Marshall's. Same thing online from discounters. It's right in that same price range. And I feel like it's well worth the money. I feel it's right where it should be in that price bracket, because it's very synthetic, so I wouldn't want to pay more than maybe $35 for this one. But it does perform well, 6 to 8 hours consistently. More to that 7 to 8 hour mark for me. Some may only get 4 or 5, it is what it is, but loud. Not a subtle fragrance, will definitely grab some attention. A little bit heavy on the green side of it. Not everybody's gonna love this one. It's a lot of lavender. I believe there's some cypress in here that really gives it that sharp green edge. But if you like green fragrances, if you know what I'm talking about with a green fragrance, this is at least a must try. And it's cheap. You can get them very, very cheap, and I'm telling you, it's worth it. For me, it was worth it anyways. I love this one, that's why it's in this list. One of the best 15 cheap fragrances, I think, for spring of 2021. And that's HUGO Man Extreme from Hugo Boss. Speaking of green, speaking of cactus, my other favorite fragrance that features the cactus note, it's citrus, it's classic, it's cheap, it's Tommy from Tommy Hilfiger. Probably the best season for this. Don't get me wrong, works great in the summer as well. But man, this scent profile just lends itself to be a spring king, especially a cheap spring king. Don't get me wrong, another one doesn't perform that well, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours if you're lucky. You can go heavy on this one. Definitely spray your clothes to get to that 4 hour mark. Classic, still a great fragrance 20 some odd years later, 25, 26 years later, something like that. I've been wearing this one, not this exact bottle, but I've been wearing Tommy since I was in elementary school, since 5th, 6th grade range, and I'm 36 now. So that should tell you how long the love affair with this fragrance has been going on. I've very seldom that I haven't had sprays available to me throughout my life. It was very short stretches in my life where my bottle was empty and I needed another one. This stuff is great. You can get them really, really cheap. I run across clearance bottles all the time. That's why I get these little ones. This 30 ml, I bought 2 of them. They were on clearance for $8 a piece. I bought a 50 ml that was on clearance for 10. I've got a bunch of little bottles, but hey, that's all I need because they travel well. These go well in different varieties of backpacks, gym bags, so on and so forth. And this has the perfect scent profile for the springtime because there's some fresh spice, there's that juicy cactus, there's grapefruit. I believe there's a little bit of leather in the dry down as well. Very lovely fragrance, overlooked at times because of its age, and it's not some beast mode because so many people put stock into performance these days and they just overlook a great scent. There's nothing wrong with reapplying because this is a great scent that you will have to reapply. Next, you may see a theme. I like creamy and I like green, fresh spicy type of fragrances for this time of year. And when it comes to creamy, one of my favorite creamy fragrances is from Authenticity Perfumes, and that is Barbershop. This is an ideal spring fragrance. It's not your standard barbershop fragrance. When you see barbershop, you think aromatic lavender, stuff like that, musks. This one's aromatic, but has a lot of creaminess to it. A lot of creaminess. Beautiful citrus up top. Does not smell like a run-of-the-mill barbershop. This has more of a shaving cream type of smell than the aftershave type of smell. Because when people think barbershops, they either think shaving cream or they think aftershave. It's one or the other is the two scents you're thinking. This is the shaving cream, the lather. This is that type of smell. And if that sounds nostalgic or good to you in any way, I'm telling you, you need to try this one. There's a link below to save yourself 10% off. You can get a decant set that features the entire house and try all of their fragrances, or you can just get yourself a 60 ml bottle for $35 before the discount. So very affordable, powerful, 50% oil concentration. They guarantee 12 plus hours. I couldn't tell you if they go past 12 hours because I usually take a shower by that point. So, but definitely beast mode level fragrances. And this is definitely from the house, the best one for spring in my opinion, because it's just so damn creamy. Check this one out if you haven't. From Authenticity Perfumes, it's Barbershop. We keep talking about green, but we haven't really featured anything mint yet. And one of the better affordable options, it's very minty, I mean it's even in the name, is AZZARO Wild Mint. This is one that you can have right over 30 bucks. I know Fragrance X tends to keep a good stock of them. FX15 will save you 15% if it's active right now. If not, FX10 save you 10%. I know Fragrance Net tends to keep a good stock. I actually got this bottle from Kingdom Fragrances for right around $31. I've had it for a while now. Beautiful, beautiful minty fragrance. Very airy, very light. Has a little bit of sweetness. It doesn't wear real heavy, but it's got a little bit of a thickness to it, a little kind of creamy mint. Beautiful. Spring, spring, spring. When I think of this, when I smell this, I think spring. I don't think summer. I feel like it's a little bit heavier of a wear for summer. In those mild spring days, this will have you smelling different from everyone else. It's not a run-of-the-mill fragrance because it's dominated by mint. Not that many fragrances are just straight up dominated by mint. It just smells so good. I had to spray it again. And look, from this particular collection, this is definitely one of the best ones. I would rank this right under Ginger Lover. With Ginger Lover still being my favorite from this collection, I think Wild Mint's definitely a very close second. And as far as the springtime, it's the best one in my opinion. And that's AZZARO Pour Homme, the Wild Mint Flanker. Now then, we had to have something with ambroxan at some point, right? I mean, love blue fragrances. Now, I wouldn't completely consider this blue, but it's definitely blue realm. I'm talking about Coach Platinum. Not the original Coach. The original Coach works well in the spring too, don't get me wrong. But what I like a little bit better about this one for spring is it has that juicy pineapple up top with this sweet vanilla to mix with that Dior Sauvage-esque type of ambroxany smell that it has. It basically sweetens up the original Coach for Men is how you can look at it. And Fragrance Net, Kingdom Fragrances, places like that, right around $36, $37 will get you a 100 milliliter bottle of this. It's hard to beat for that. It does perform right in that average range. It's a 5 to 7 hour fragrance. I know some people say they even get 8 hours. I don't get 8 hours. I get more around that 6 hour range, which for the price point and the scent, absolutely worth it in my opinion. That's why it's in this video. I like this one better than the original for springtime. For summer, I'll lean a little more to Coach for Men or Coach for Men Blue because they're lighter and fresher, whereas this has a bit more density and it's a bit sweeter. The vanilla is prominent in this one, and you have that juicy pineapple up top as well. Beautiful fragrance that got hyped up when it came out in 2018, and then the hype kind of killed over. And to be honest with you, it's still a fantastic fragrance that still deserves attention from you, and if you've yet to try it, maybe spring 2021 is the time for you to try it. And that's Coach Platinum. Essentially Versace Eros on a budget and a little bit spicier. Guess 1981 Los Angeles. I've featured this one heavily over the last few months on the channel, and for good reason, because it's awesome. I have recently gotten the Eau de Parfum flanker of Versace Eros, and while I do enjoy that one, I like this one a little bit more. It's a lot cheaper. It's got a beautiful amber and dry pepper up top. It's different. The same but different. It takes that and twists it, makes it its own thing. 20 bucks, they pop up at Burlington, Marshall's, places like that. And even smaller bottles and little gift sets and all, you can find $15, $16, $17. Bargain, steal. Really is. Cheapy gold right here. Great for this time of year where you still get a little bit of spice, you get some warm amber, but you still have that playful aspect of that vanilla mint, bubblegummy type of smell that Versace Eros is known for. It's like taking that DNA and twisting it, making it spicier, essentially. Not really spicy, but a little bit warmer and spicier for sure. Decent performer too. 5, 6, 7 hour fragrance. I get it in that 6 hour realm on this one as well. Nothing super special about the performance, but it's not some weak sauce either, you know. Great fragrance for this time of year. I think after spring, it's time to put this bottle away until maybe fall, because it's a little too much for the summer. But for spring days, spring evenings, dates, stuff like that, fantastic cheap fragrance of Guess 1981 Los Angeles. Now with this next one, this is one that you got to overlook the performance, just like Tommy Hilfiger. Not everything has to be a beast mode, all in your face fragrance. And you'll know what I'm talking about when I show you this one, because this is my favorite fragrance to wear to the gym. I keep a 1 ounce bottle in my backpack. It's always with me when I go to the gym. I always refresh with this one. I'm talking about Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct Blue. It's a blue fragrance. It's very herbaceous. That first 45 minutes to an hour, yeah, it's loud, it's out there, it'll grab somebody. But it's only like 3 or 4 hour fragrance. 3.5, 4 hours. Nothing spectacular in longevity. God, but I love the way this stuff smells. Look, in that first hour or two when somebody can smell you, you can get a compliment from this one. You're gonna smell really good when you're wearing this one. This is an ideal fragrance, like I said, for the gym, obviously. Running errands, a casual kickback day, you're chilling around the house, you're just going to run errands, you're going to be gone for an hour. This fragrance is great for that. This fragrance shines in short-term situations when you need to smell great, fresh, clean, and inviting. You don't smell off-putting. You smell approachable. This is a mood booster. It's because it smells so good, and you can find a 50 ml for around 20, 100 ml around 25. They pop up at the rack stores. They're all over on eBay. It's usually the easiest one to find on discount websites. Don't let the performance scare you away with this one. This is a great cheap fragrance that has several uses. It, for me personally, has several uses. I have a bunch of bottles of the Together flanker. You know what I have the second most amount of bottles of in that collection? This one right here. I don't have multiple bottles of the original. I don't have multiple bottles of the Extreme. I have multiple bottles of Blue. And I'm starting to think, because I use it so much, my 1 ounce is almost out. Next time I run across a bottle, I'm probably going to buy that bottle too, because, like I said, short-term situations, hell, in my opinion, the best gym fragrance, especially for the spring. First Instinct Blue. Since green is the theme, we had to have 78 Vintage Green from Banana Republic. Very mildly herbaceous, fresh citrus. In the same vein of your Creed Original Vetiver, Mugler Cologne. Not identical to those, but very similar. Similar scent profile, similar type of performance, similar results. Only difference, $20 at Burlington or any of the rack stores you find it at for 75 ml. It's fresh, it's clean, it's green. The name's fitting. It's green. This is an ideal casual and work springtime fragrance because it's very inoffensive. It's not overly loud. It's an average performer. It's not, you know, some super long lasting fragrance, but it's great for a work day. Most of a work day anyways. Another one, great gym scent, day off, running errands, out the shower. I wore it fresh out the shower the other night. It's great for many situations. I wouldn't try to dress this one up with a suit and tie, although you can, and I wouldn't look to wear this one on a date. But for all other situations this spring, you really can't go wrong for 20 bucks with 78 Vintage Green from Banana Republic. All this green, we've had one blue fragrance that was still kind of on the green side. We need a straight up blue fragrance for this list. And it's a cheapie video, so naturally, wouldn't it be my favorite cheap blue fragrance? ACQUA ESSENZIALE Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. The best time of year for this one. Don't get me wrong, I like to wear it year round. A little bit easier on the sprays in the summer. Heavy as you want in the spring and fall. Heavier in the cold. You definitely got to go heavy in the winter. Spring and fall, ideal seasons for this. It's fresh. It's a little citrusy. It's aromatic, a little powdery. Slightly herbaceous, not much. This is in the same vein of Versace Dylan Blue mixes with a touch of Bleu de Chanel, just a touch. Kind of does a little bit of both, more so Dylan Blue. Doesn't smell exactly like Dylan Blue, but in the same vein. Very good performer on my skin. You can find these very, very cheap. And it's a do-it-all. This is one I used to keep. That's why it's all scratched up. See all the, if I can get it to focus, you can see all the scratches on the plate and everything. It's not just fingerprints, that's all scratches, and then scratches on the bottle and everything. Used to be in my gym bag. I used to go to the gym in the mornings before work when I worked at Mercedes, and this was my go-to around that time. That's where a lot of this dent came from. For like 3 weeks a month straight, I was wearing this every single day. For as many fragrances as I have, that's miraculous. You gotta really love a fragrance to do that when you have hundreds and hundreds of fragrances. This is great. This is one that's popping up the rack stores for 17 bucks for a 50 ml just like this. And for $17, this is a damn steal. Great for the spring, great blue fragrance. Regardless of price, it's my favorite blue fragrance. Is everybody gonna like it? No. Is there a good chance you'll like it? Yeah, absolutely. Especially for the price, because worst case scenario, you got 17 bucks and you're bound to find somebody that likes it, that they'll take it off your hands for 17 bucks. But more likely than not, you're bound to like this fragrance if you like blue style fragrances, fresh, mass appealing, do-it-all type of fragrances that perform pretty well. Look no further than my favorite blue, ACQUA ESSENZIALE blue. Well, technically because of the price point, AZZARO Wanted could have went right here, but I figured we'd save even more money and we'd go with Davidoff Run Wild. Because they smell pretty much exactly the same, this is just half the price from discounters of what AZZARO Wanted is. Invictus opening, cinnamon dry down. The most simple way to put it. And it performs. Not a beast. AZZARO Wanted definitely gets a little bit more longevity and a little bit more projection than this one, but it's also double the price. 20 bucks will get you this 50 ml right here. 25, 26-ish dollars will get you a 100 ml. Smells the same, just this is more of a 5 to 7 hour fragrance, whereas that's more of a 7 to 10 hour fragrance on my skin anyways, more 8 to 10. And that one's a bit louder, but this one's definitely got that moderate arm's length type of projection for the first hour and a half or so, where it'll really grab somebody's attention. Then you'll have a very mild scent trail to where when you walk by somebody, there's definitely opportunity there for them to catch a whiff and their head to turn. So very, very inviting, beautiful, kind of sexy DNA, to be honest with you, because girls love the way Invictus smells. Girls like cinnamon heavy fragrances like 1 Million, stuff like that. Traditionally anyways, this is kind of a little bit of both. And for $20, it's really hard to beat. And this spring, I think it's kind of a stud for the spring. Cheapies anyways, Davidoff, Run Wild. Now these last two are the same two that were my favorites for last spring. They're my favorites for this spring too. Eternity Eau de Parfum from Calvin Klein. The best version of Eternity in my opinion. So much greener, so much smoother, and performs a whole lot better. Not quite as aromatic, a bit soapy, but not as soapy as the Eau de Toilette. This is such a good fragrance. It's right around 30 bucks. Get you a full presentation. Tester, a few dollars less, which this is a tester. Came in a white tester box. Paid like $27, $28 for it, right around the time, not too long after it came out. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for a year and a half, something like that. Great fragrance. Came out mid to latter portion of 2019. Great fragrance. Modernized version of Eternity Eau de Toilette, the original. This is definitely better. If you ever liked Eternity in the past and it just kind of got old for you, you need to try this one. This is a lot better. I'm telling you, in my opinion, this is the best version of Eternity. Regardless of flanker, regardless of anything. This is the one to own. It's very green. The juice color is fitting. This is an ideal springtime fragrance, especially on a budget. That's Eternity Eau de Parfum from Calvin Klein. Last but not least, it's been my favorite spring fragrance, cheap spring fragrance. Actually, my favorite spring fragrance overall for a long time now. I had a 75 ml. I have this 4.2 ounce now. It's not changing anytime soon. John Varvatos, Artisan Blue. It is not a blue fragrance. It is not aquatic. This is green, herbaceously fresh. It is beautiful. This is my favorite spring fragrance. Love this one. I overspray the hell out of it too. Oh God, so green and grassy green, you know. And look, it doesn't perform that well. maybe 4 hours. You can spray it heavy, keep it with you, respray it heavy again, 10, 12 sprays, go ahead. Because it's not a strong performer, but it smells so damn good. It does not come across synthetic. It's actually very high quality. John Varvatos is known, for the most part, doing pretty good quality for a designer. Outside of the Nick Jonas fragrances, those are a bit more synthetic, but the Artisan line, beautiful fragrances. Artisan Aqua could fall in here as well. The tannish kind of colored weaved bottle like this. That one's a bit more aquatic, but this one's misleading because it's called Artisan Blue. It looks like this. You're thinking aquatic, fresh, super citrus, vacation, beach time fragrance. It can be vacation time beach fragrance, but extremely green. This smells like spring in a bottle to me. This is spring in this bottle. It's beautiful. They pop up at the rack stores all the time. When you see it, don't hesitate. TLTG cosign right here. John Varvatos Artisan Blue is, in my opinion, the best affordable fragrance for the spring under $40. Well guys, that's the 15 that I have for you. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback and I love hearing from you guys. How many of these do you have already? How many of these sparked your interest and you want to try them? Like I always say, there's never a better time than right now to try a new fragrance that intrigues you. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances discussed in this video and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. You're going to smell great without spending a lot of money. Have a good one, guys.